Go. Yes. No, you're going to rotate. So, put the pile, leave the pile right here. You can leave the pile right here. And you're going to label it with the title and the author and then write about it. And then you're going to put it back in the pile and pick a different one. Okay? You got that, Linda? Well, not necessarily what it's about, but what you notice in that one. Remember how we talked about stanza and rhyme and feeling and pictures? You're going to read this poem and tell me what about that poem stands out to you. Does it rhyme? Is it a long poem or a short poem? You can tell feeling, but I want more about the structure of the poem. Why don't you read it first and then I'll come back. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 0 means no talking. There is a word that I'm not sure you guys are familiar with, anonymous. Ashton, what's anonymous?
It means when someone is trying to like hide the name.
Right. It means we don't know. There's also a couple that say unknown student. That was a selection from a classroom and the names weren't listed on who wrote the poems. So that's why it says unknown student. So go ahead, get back to work. Good job coming together, guys. I love this poem, and you know why? Because a lot of people think they can't write a poem, but what is this right here?
It's a poem.
It's a poem. So what did you find about this poem?
It's a very it's someone who writes stuff about a poem, but then actually becomes a poem.
I know.
He says he can't write a poem.
It kind of tricked him, didn't it? Yes, it did. How do you like that one? Is it good?
Pickle was Captain. Pickle was crew. Tickle served coffee and higher and higher and higher. Pickle video tickle me too.
I found it very
Every sun beyond the blue. Hold on, say, I hope you do perfectly. I can't.
I know. It's tricky. Lots of specific detail that puts a clear and interesting picture in your mind. Excellent. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Yes, ma'am.
Sing to the tune of I've been working on.
What do you notice about this poem? What do you notice about it? Has good details. What else do you notice about it?
Words, like good describing words.
Okay.
And I like how they drew the words, like they wrote the words like this.
Why? What's important about that with this poem? What's the title?
Rocket's red flare, and it's supposed to be a rocket.
It's in the shape of a rocket. That's awesome. So there's lots of different characteristics in poems. Yes, sir.
Do we write it?
It says I can't write a poem, and it says I can't write a poem. It's done. I can't rhyme. I don't get it because it's not even a poem.
But is it a poem?
Yeah.
It is a poem, isn't it?
But
Who's
Not all poems have to what you notice. One sentence about what you notice. Not right now. At the end of our learning segment, you guys will get a packet of all the poems. Yes. But if you have completed one poem, raise your hand. If you have completed your sentence for one poem, raise your hand. 2 poems, keep your hand up. Okay, so we'll give just a little bit more time. At least 2. At least 2. Lots of descriptive words, right? Yes. Really paints a picture for you. Puts you in the poem. Oh, there you go. You're writing your answer in a poem.
Yeah.
What'd you notice about that?
I noticed it was very descriptive.
Okay. What else did you notice?
I like the format.
What's the format? Explain that to me.
Like the format is like how it's shaped like a rocket and all the words and stuff.
Isn't that pretty interesting? Yes.
My head is empty. I don't want to. I hate poetry. I can't write a poem.
So what
Just sit.
and they just did. So, what word are you looking for? Hilarious. What do you think? How does it start?
Anna's cupcakes.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going. Did you do I've been burping in the nose? I don't know the whole tune to the What was Captain Pickles? There's 2 I can't write a
You were
poem.
close.
There's 2 I can't write a poem. That's pretty weird. There's 2 with the same title.
There are 2 with the same title. So, students, Liam just brought something up. There are 2 poems with the same title. And do we know the author of either of those poems? So you need to make sure that if you're using that one, you're going to include information that tells us which one you're writing about. Okay, grab another one. Amelia? Yeah? Amelia, how many have you got? Second one? Okay.
I'll take the fog one.
Max, how
I
many
don't
have you
get
done?
this.
2?
3
You're on 3rd. Kristen, how about you?
It doesn't even
Blue lights.
Is this your second one?
I know some of it, like you cannot say
4.
the full sentence.
Wow.
What is?
Remember that your sentences will start with a capital letter and will end with a period. Okay, if you have not completed at least 2 descriptions of poems, I will need you to focus a little bit more and work on getting that second one completed. I know they're exciting, it's hard not to talk about them.
When I'm reading this one, I've been learning in classroom. It's like some of these words you cannot say in the full sentence. Like
You can't?
like I can't. Like
Do you know the song, I've Been Working on the Railroad?
What is it?
Should we try to do it together? I've been in the classroom since I ate my lunch. We had beefy cheesy tacos, and I got dinner. Can't you hear my belly rumble, full of greasy taco meat? Can't you hear the girls all whining? Your breath smells like your feet. Keep reading. Keep going. Yep, keep going. Raise your hand if you have 3 poem sentence descriptions. Raise your hand if you have 3. Raise your hand if you have 2. So those of you that had 3, your hands should still be up. You have 2? You have 2? Cleo, you working on your second one? Okay. All right. I think about 1 or 2 more minutes and we should be able to wrap this up and move on to the next. Do you know what the whole purpose of making these assessments? Do you think maybe to show you all the different types of poems? And to show you that even if you don't think you can write a poem, you can write a poem about not writing a poem, right? It's pretty silly, huh? I love this one. Have you read it already? I'm just getting started to read it. I'll come back and check. Did you read this one all the way? Did it make you sing it? It's hard to read it without singing. I just read it with Ashton back there and we were laughing pretty good. I had to stop right here. Your breast. A lot. He's an amazing author. Poet. Did you get free
Oppression. See what states have said. That's cool.
That's true. That's true. I like that.
Or are you writing on this one?
What do you think about Victory?
I really like it. It's so hard. Like